In the today's class, we will study heat exchangers from Module 5. These heat exchangers are the devices in which heat is transferred between the two fluids at different temperatures without any mixing of the fluids. As we already know, heat always flows from higher temperature medium to the lower temperature medium. Heat is transferred from the hot fluid to the cold fluid. Broadly, these heat exchangers are classified into three main types. One is direct transfer type, second one is storage type of heat exchanger, and third one is direct contact type heat exchanger. So first let us study this direct transfer type of heat exchanger. A direct transfer type of heat exchanger is one in which the hot and cold fluids flow simultaneously through the device and the heat is transferred through a wall separating the fluids. So let me explain this with the help of this sketch. So this is called a direct transfer type concentric tube heat exchanger. Concentric tube means one tube is placed inside the other tube. So this is one tube and this is another tube. So in this tube, the hot fluid is passing through this tube at the left side of the heat exchanger, and the hot fluid is leaving out at the right side of the heat exchanger, and the cold fluid is moving through the annulus of the tubes. We can see here direction of the hot fluid moving, whereas the cold fluid is moving through the annulus of the tubes. So heat transfer takes place from the hot fluid to this cold fluid across the walls of the inner tube. So heat transfer takes place from hot fluid to the cold fluid across the walls of the inner tubes. Here I can showing it in the red mark. So this is the how heat transfer takes place from hot fluid to the cold fluid. Transfer takes place across the walls of the inner tube. So next we will study storage type heat exchanger. Is one in which the heat transfer from the hot fluid to the cold fluid occurs through a coupling medium in the form of porous solid matrix. The hot and cold fluids flows alternatively through the matrix, the hot fluid storing heat in it and the cold fluid extracting heat from it. So let me explain this storage type of heat exchanger with the help of this sketch. So it is called a single matrix storage type heat exchanger. So here you can see the X marks. This indicates the porous matrix. This is called a matrix which is in the form of porous. You can see this portion. This porous matrix, it is in the form of pebbles with a passage through it, or it may be a porous brickwork with small holes in it, or it may be some finer materials loosely kept in it. That means the fluid should pass through this matrix material. There should not be any obstruction. So you can see here this circle with this cross marks, these indicates the walls which is shown here. Let me call this wall A, this as B, this wall as C, and this as D. So initially the wall A and wall C are kept open. At the same time wall B and wall D are kept closed. So hot fluid is made to pass through this wall A, and this hot fluid, it passes through this porous matrix. Heat is given up to the porous materials and heat is stored in this matrix material. So this process is done for some time. Afterwards, now the wall A and wall C are kept closed and wall B and wall D are kept open. Now the cold fluid is made to pass through this matrix material, whereas cold fluid, it picks up the heat which is stored in the matrix material, whereas this cold fluid, it gets heated after extracting heat from this matrix material and the cold fluid comes out. This is about the storage type heat exchanger. So now last one, that is direct contact type heat exchanger, is one in which the two fluids are not separated if the heat is to be transferred between a gas and the liquid. Here the gas is either bubbled through the liquid or the liquid is sprayed in the form of droplets into the gas. So let me explain this with the help of sketch, that is direct contact type heat exchanger. So example, we can take it as a cooling top. So here the hot water is sprayed at the top of the cooling tower, whereas this hot water is sprayed in the form of fine droplets. These are the droplets of the water, and at the bottom of this cooling tower, the blowers are kept to blow the air against the droplets of this water, because we need to cool this water. So this water it comes in direct contact with the air, where the water gets cooled off. That means water droplet, it gives off its heat to the cold air, whereas air, it receives the heat from the water droplet. So if I will take this as the water droplet, and heat is transferred from this water droplet to the air. So this is the example of the direct contact type heat exchanger. So next we'll study another example of the first type, that is the direct transfer type of heat exchanger. For example, this is the cell and tube heat exchanger, it is called. So best example, we can take the condenser as the best example for this shell and tube heat exchanger. So the main components of this shell and tube heat exchanger are the tubes, shell, tube header sheets, front and rear heads, nozzles and baffles. So these tubes are fitted in the tuber sheets. These are called as the tube header sheets, where the tubes are fixed in these tube header sheets. So these are the tubes, and outside the area of the tubes it is called as the shell of the heat exchanger. So this is the front end head of the heat exchanger, and this is called as the rear end head of the heat exchanger. And this is called as the tube inside. That means where the fluid is going to enter inside the tubes, that is called as the tube inside fluid flow, where the fluid enters into the tubes here and the fluid gets out from this tube. Whereas the another type of fluid, it is entering over the shell of the heat exchanger. It means outer portion of the tubes. Here only we have shown 1 tube, 2 tube, 3 tube and 4 tubes, that in which one fluid is entering inside the tubes. There may be more number of tubes in the shell and tube heat exchanger. So the fluid which is entering in the shell side, across the shells, the sheets are provided inside the shell. So these are the sheets. These are also called as the baffles. So these baffles are provided in order to flow the shell side fluid all over the tubes, but to change its direction. That means its heat transfer effectiveness should be increased. That means it should pass through all the tubes like this way. For that purpose these baffles are provided. If these baffles are not provided, then that fluid which enters the shell side directly, it may come here and it may directly enter here. So the fluid may not move throughout all the tubes, throughout the outside surface of all the tubes. And these are also called as the nozzles, shell side, and this is the shell outside. So the best example I have taken, which is used as the condenser in the power plants, where the cold fluid water is made to pass through these tubes, and the steam which is coming out of the turbine, it is made to pass outside the tubes, that is made to pass through the shell side where the steam gets condensed. So condenser is the best example of the shell and tube heat exchanger, and it is the example of the direct transfer type heat exchanger. So next we will study the direct transfer type heat exchangers are classified based on the fluid flow directions. So this is, first one is the parallel flow heat exchanger, second one is counter flow heat exchanger, third one is cross flow heat exchanger. So first we will study parallel flow heat exchanger. So in this parallel flow heat exchanger, let me draw first sketch. So this is the tube. One tube is placed over the another tube. So this is another tube. Here the hot fluid is passing, hot fluid in, I will call it here as the hot fluid out, and from here cold fluid in. Here it is cold fluid out. So here in the parallel flow heat exchanger, both the hot fluids and the cold fluids move parallel to each other. That means the directions of the hot fluid and the direction of the cold fluid moving in the heat exchanger will be same, and they are moving parallel to each other. For that purpose it is called as the parallel flow heat exchanger. So we can explain this parallel temperature variations of the fluids by the graph. So on the y-axis, let me plot the temperature. On the x-axis, this indicates the length of the heat exchanger. So the hot fluid which is entering inside the heat exchanger, its temperature will be higher. So somewhere I will plot it here. Let me call it as TH1. That means temperature of the hot fluid at the inlet of the heat exchanger. So at the same time, cold fluid, its temperature will be very less. Let me call it as TC1, that is temperature of the cold fluid which is entering at the inlet of the heat exchanger. So as the hot fluid, it moves along the length of the heat exchanger, the temperature of the hot fluid goes on decreasing, whereas the temperature of the cold fluid goes on increasing, because the heat transfer takes place from the hot fluid to the cold fluid across the inner walls of the tube. That means hot fluid gives up the heat, whereas cold fluid it gains up the heat. So let me draw this with the help of graph. The temperature of the hot fluid, it goes on decreasing when the hot fluid moves along the length of the heat exchanger. See here. Whereas the temperature of the cold fluid, it goes on increasing when the cold fluid moves along the length of the heat exchanger. So let me draw another line. That means that is the end of the heat exchanger. You can see here the temperature of the hot fluid, it goes on decreasing as the length of the heat exchanger increases, whereas the temperature of the cold fluid, it goes on increasing because it is gaining up the heat, and this is hot fluid, it is giving up the heat. So both fluids are moving parallel to each other and they are moving in the same direction. So let me call this as TH2, that is temperature of the hot fluid at the exit of the heat exchanger. So this is the exit of the heat exchanger, and let me call this as TC2, that is temperature of the cold fluid at the outlet of the heat exchanger or at the exit of the heat exchanger. So now let us study the counter flow heat exchanger. So here let me draw the sketch. Double pipe parallel flow heat exchanger. So here at the left side of the heat exchanger, hot fluid in, and here it is hot fluid out. So in the counter flow heat exchanger, both this hot fluid and the cold fluid, they move parallel to each other, but their directions are opposite to each other. Cold fluid out. So we can see here hot fluid is moving in this direction, whereas the cold fluid, it is moving parallel to that hot fluid, but it is moving in the opposite direction, that is moving through the annulus of the tubes. So it is called counter flow heat exchanger. So here also the heat transfer from the hot fluid to the cold fluid transfers across the walls of the inner tube. See here. So here the heat transfer takes place. So let me show with the help of this graph. So here also on the y-axis we are going to plot temperature, and this indicates the length of the heat exchanger. So initially the temperature of the hot fluid will be higher. So as it moves along the length of the heat exchanger, its temperature goes on decreasing. So let me end, this is the end exit of the heat exchanger. Let me call this as TH1, that is temperature of the hot fluid at the inlet of the heat exchanger. And this is the temperature of the hot fluid at the exit of the heat exchanger. So as I told you, in counterflow heat exchanger, the cold fluid is moving in the opposite direction to this hot fluid. So it is moving from here. So initially the temperature of the cold fluid at the heat inlet of the heat exchanger, it will be TC1, and as it is flowing along the length of the heat exchanger, its temperature goes on increasing. See here, initially its temperature is very less. So when it moves in the opposite direction to the hot fluid, it gains up the heat and its temperature goes on increasing. Here, so at this point the cold fluid is entering, and at this point the cold fluid is coming out of the heat exchanger. Next one, we'll study cross flow heat exchanger. So cross flow heat exchanger, in which both the hot fluids and the cold fluids move perpendicular to each other. So I can tell that hot fluid is moving in this direction. Let me call this as hot fluid in, and where hot fluid is moving out of the heat exchanger. So here cold fluid in, and this is the cold fluid out. That means hot fluid and the cold fluid, they are moving perpendicular to each other. How the heat transfer takes place from the hot fluid to the cold fluid. So in this type only, where both hot fluid and the cold fluids, they may be mixed with each other, or the hot fluid and the cold fluid may not mix with each other. So this is about the classifications of the heat exchangers.